Anse, Mancini, Zoc, Kranz, Vlemings, Afrifa, Melluzzo, Miriantopoulos. Vediamo come si comporta Matteo Melluzzo, direi che si sta comportando molto bene Matteo Melluzzo. E adesso attenzione perché mettiamo in moto una freccia rossa che si chiama Marcel Jacobs. L'Italia è nettamente davanti, adesso dopo Marcel Jacobs il mago dei cambi, e cioè Lorenzo Patta, bravissimo a ricevere il testimone, è bravissimo anche a darli. Lorenzo Patta deve mettere in movimento Filippo Tortu, è partito Filippo Tortu, l'Italia vince con un distacco da Giro delle Fiandre. Filippo Tortu va a prendersi l'oro, 37-83, 37-83. Da manuale l'Italia, Melluzzo, Jacobs, Patta e Tortu.
We won like... This is how you win a competition of any kind, with lots of space between you and the next one. Like, this was the greatest end of the European track and field championships that were in Rome this year. 24 medals. Second was France with something like 13. You know, it's like such a great thing. Welcome everyone to a new episode of the recurrent weekly tea time. So, I want to answer a question. Can you go up in the chat, because I think I missed one question that was coming whilst I was down. No, I can't see it. If you could, Verdugo, if you can repaste your question, because it's not in the chat anymore. The screen here is, I've got like only the last 5 messages. So, congratulations for Kingdoms. Thank you very, very much. You've been playing them lately and there are super games. I would like to ask you questions. Could you give us any update regarding Command Modern Operation multiplayer? And is there any planned big sale on Slitherine for this summer? Thank you very much. All right, so start from the end. Verdugo, there is a big sale on Steam coming soon. It's already been announced. The summer sale will start at the last week of June. And so that's going to be the first opportunity to access some pretty heavy discounts on all our games. And on our website, we've got stuff planned for July, but we don't know exactly when, so we'll keep you posted. On our website, there's no such thing as a summer sale, so you'll see games going on sale, you know, in cyclical ways, but it's not like everything goes on sale in the summer. We've never done it because we do a very long one towards the end of the year for everything. So that's what is being happening, you know, since the very beginning of the year, where, you know, every week there's something going on sale. You can actually subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe to the newsletter and keep being posted about our web sales. Command Modern Operations multiplayer for civilians. We haven't yet done anything regarding this, so it's still very much in beta for professional users, so there's no plan for rolling it out for civilian players at the moment, you know, as in short-term plans. There's plans for more DLCs for Command, and you'll know more about it, but there's going to be a big update and a DLC coming in the summer. Flashpoint campaign supports multiplayer, though. Of course, Sergeant Z-Dog, and you are interested about it. And yes, I mean, many of the games we have are multiplayer. Flashpoint campaigns is probably the game with multiplayer in the sort of that has a professional iteration alongside combat mission that I suggest you give it a go with. No problem about the answers. How will Slitherine handle Euro 24? Will fights break out between the offices? Right, so I don't know much about football, but what happens is that David usually starts I don't know what he calls it, a thing about the Euro. So I'm pretty sure something will happen. Something will happen. I couldn't tell you if the different teams have. We survived the 2020 England versus Italy finals. We're good, yeah, we're good. I don't think that Italy has got big chances this year, but I'm asking my football expert, Andrea, what are our chances at Euro 2024? Yeah. His face was like, not really. So we'll root for Poland or England. Yeah, might be a good idea. But yeah, no, we're good with football. We have our experts in the room, and of course Neil is one of them. And maybe England will win something this time. What did I say? Okay, so discussing talking more about our games, and although I'd love to talk about sports more, the first thing I want to say is, of course, that you can try, as our friend Verdugo was saying, you can try Scramble Battle of Britain on Steam right now. It's on a demo. For Next Fest, the demo will last until the 17th, and most probably will officially we'll leave it out there for another week after that, and then we'll see how to sort of plan things, because we're getting a lot of feedback. So the idea is that we'll leave it there until we get a certain amount of feedback, and then when we got enough feedback, we can retire it. Work on it, and then re-release it maybe later on. But feedback so far is very, very good. No issues we knew were going to come up, but it's good that we are sort of consolidating these issues. I urge you to play it and give us some feedback. It's very important for us, and we're looking at all sorts of feedback. This is a game where, because I was saying last week, because it's not like the typical game that we are used to do since 2000, so 25 years ago. We know that there are things like controls and game flow, and how the game plays, accessibility, and a number of other things. We want it to be working and good. So give us your feedback, and ask your friends to play it if you've got friends who are into flight sims and such. We are waiting for your suggestions there. I'd love to know more about what you think about the game. Scramble is so interesting and refreshing. Love the demo, even though I've lost more than one pilot to an overload of G. Lepus, this is interesting, because we've got the data of how many players are playing the demo and so on, and there's quite a lot of interesting data about retention and about how many times people actually play these missions. The average time played is very high, but also we're getting a lot of people playing first mission and then second mission and then third mission, so playing all the continents there. It's not a lot, it's a demo, so you don't have a full experience, but we see a lot of players playing the whole thing, and most of them playing it again and again. So it's really cool to see that there's a lot of engagement. And we don't know yet if it's because you guys are trying hard to, play it to learn it, or because you're enjoying it so much and so on. But overall, the numbers are really good. So I'm happy about it. And we have basically all our resident streamers playing the game in the next few days as well. So I love it that you can actually see all the different play styles. Sargent and XTRG and Hexaboo and Yog and everyone else are really putting their different styles in the game, which is great. I love it, and I wish we had these types of opportunities more, because it's really good to see you guys playing something, give us feedback, but also enjoying how just watching people play, which is something that's most of the time with with longer games, you know, you don't really have this sort of enthusiasm in playing, seeing like a half an hour session, which is, you know, for us it's refreshing and it's great. Panzer Corps 2, you stay into the World War II scene. You probably have seen that we have announced a new DLC for Panzer Corps 2. This is a new series of DLCs that we are putting out. It's called War Stories. The series is called War Stories. The first game in the series will be Fall of Poland. War Stories is using the Panzer Corps engine to do something a little bit different. So you guys know that we had the Axis Operations campaign, which is a long campaign, you know, a certain type of playstyle. Then we started doing the Frontlines DLCs. The Frontline DLCs are very much about, you know, zoomed in action, you know, more tactical, a bit more, you know, frantic action. War Stories, we're trying to tell stories about war and sort of looking at, still, you know, enjoying the Panzer Corps gameplay, but in a way that is more linked to, you know, actual characters and people and history and, you know, heroes, everything that made and makes World War II such a fascinating period, and, you know, concentrating on maybe parts of the war that aren't so popular or so played by, you know, most of the war gamers. So focusing on stuff that you might think that is interesting to discover, as well as playing, you know, the usual, you know, Market Gardens and Arnhem and Stalingrad and so on, which is what, you know, what works best, of course, in terms of sales, but also, you know, because Panzer Corps is such a vast experience, we're trying to give it a bit of a different angle here. Will all narrative be historically accurate? Well, this being Kerensky's content, you might expect that everything will be super well researched, and he's putting a lot of effort into researching the subject in a way that I've rarely seen. You know, the idea of delivering a story and is linked with, you know, this has to be realistic to the point that, you know, everything in the game is very, very well researched by who is actually writing the content. You'll see it's fascinating what Kerensky has done. That was for Panzer Corps. We are looking at celebrating Panzer Corps in July. We're looking at creating an event that celebrates Panzer Corps franchise. Panzer Corps 1 was released in July, many years back now, many years back, and we'll do something in this coming July to celebrate the franchise and celebrate the IP, celebrate, you know, all the people who are playing the game constantly every single day, and there's a lot of them. If you look at the data, publicly available data, Panzer Corps 2 is the game, you know, with the highest number of recurring players we have in our entire catalog of games. You know, there are games that have sold a lot more copies, but then the game that has more recurring players is 100% Panzer Corps, and it's been like this for a very, very long time. So it's only, you know, the right time if we just celebrate and make sure that everyone who's playing it gets a little bit of an insight on what is going to come in the next few months, and hopefully, you know, beyond the few months as well. That was for Panzer Corps 2. Checking if Jörg will find a way. Oh, come on, Jörg, give Jörg a break. He's been, you know, we should probably create a Panzer Corps 2 meme with French tanks. That's something we should do. If anyone in the chat is able to do that, we should probably start a meme contest for French tanks. B. Vargas should be getting on Fog Kingdom soon. My PC broke down recently. That's not good. That's not good. So hopefully you'll get back into gaming very, very soon, and it's a good point to start with Filgore Kingdoms. It's getting very, very good reviews, and we're very happy about how the first week of sales went. It's a game that we are going to work on for a long time, and it's good to see that this initial reaction from players has been very, very solid. So I look forward to the future of Fog Kingdoms. Another game that has got and will have a very long tail is Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. So there is an update that's just been released. The update it brings a new mission. There's a new mission in the story single-player campaign, a mission called Mount Taylor. I guess, do we have screenshots for this or not? I don't see. No. We don't. There was a video. But at some point, but I don't remember if that was published yet. Anyway, check it out on YouTube channel. I can't do everything for you guys. There's a new mission, and there's a lot of new improvements as well, which of course are coming within the package of the free update. There's new store items. There's a new skirmish and multiplayer map. There's a new system to customize the difficulty layer. Now to find out what happens to Colonel Blair. I've got a history. This is Pookie. I've got a list. I've got a history of the DLC here, but I don't want to read things. So I'm like, yeah, that. But you know, that exactly. Find out what happens to Colonel Blair if you want to know that. Otherwise, just download the update for the skirmish and multiplayer map. And there is a new free camera option, which is going to change our capturing footage also. So thanks for the marketing tool here. I have to say that it's great to see that we are able to deliver free content on top of what the guys are working for the future as well. Because you guys probably know that Terminator has done so well that we're looking into the future of that, and that's great stuff that we want to. We can still deliver free stuff in the meantime whilst the guys are working on the future of it. There are some nice Terminator screenshots appearing on various Discord channels with a free camera. That's great. That's great. I love it that people are being creative with the stuff we deliver. Sometimes you never know. I mean, sometimes you build a tool or feature or something and nobody cares. Sometimes it becomes all of a sudden becomes really popular and everyone uses it. It's a bit like modding. Some games have modding support, but the mods are very limited. Sometimes you release a modding support and everyone's jumping on it. So it's great to see that you guys are using it for taking screenshots and also doing some marketing for us. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Last week was D-Day, of course. We have released a new Armory article that's about amphibious landings and Navy operations. This is really interesting because Liam's articles are sort of very insightful. Here he's been looking at these types of operations from ancient Rome to today basically, and it's really cool. I like it that he's also managing to sort of link back to some of the games and using screenshots from games to explain that stuff. But the articles themselves are really interesting, and every time I read one of them, I'm like, we should do more with these things. We should push them out more and so on. But it's all like stuff that has to become viral in a way, or become shareable. So yeah, I mean, again, to support these things which take a long time to write and research, just go and read them. The more page views we've got, the better, and we get more of them released over time. In terms of other stuff that we have released for supporting sort of written articles and other development diaries and so on. So end of this month, we have the release of Strategic Command World War II War in the Pacific, which is a standalone game. Make sure you know that. It's not a DLC for any of the World War II games we had in the past. Strategic Command as a series is very much like made of, core standalone games, because every single one of these is really bringing a new system. So here it's very much about naval operations, landings, and a lot more that's very specific to the game. So with specific game rules. And scope, and the map is very specifically done for this as well. So it's important that we, it doesn't really fit within the other games model, so it has to be something slightly different. There's a dev diary being published, being released on our website and on Steam. You can check it there, and the idea of this development diary is really that. What is the design process to create these scenarios, and within this new system we have the guys have created, the guys at Fury Software have created, what is it like to create these campaigns, these scenarios, and make them interesting to the players. Yes, if you don't know if you're going to buy Strategic Command, we can leave you Yogdog's mobile number. You can call him for advice. I think it's a very good idea. He's like probably, I don't know. Is there anyone with more game hours than Yogdog on the series? I don't know. We should probably check that and try and do research on who has the most time of play in Strategic Command. Next week, as weirdly enough. We have no release. It's a Thursday. We don't have any release. So, and I'm coming to your question, Stocky. Next week we release another game on a Tuesday. We release Starship Troopers Terran Command's new DLC, Urban Onslaught. I wish I could show you some more stuff. But the guys upstairs are preparing a whole long, event with lots of content. So there's quite a lot of stuff that we're preparing for you on this game. There is a new dev diary being published. You can find it out there. It's on the Steam page. The game release on the 18th towards late afternoon. And we've got a lot of events because, of course, it's the second anniversary of Starship Troopers next week. 2 years ago, we launched this game that, sort of changed the way we see many things and we work on many things. This was a game that was massively successful. We sold hundreds of thousands of units of Starship Troopers, and what happened was that, this was the first time we released a game that was, very much action-based in a way, an RTS that was, with this type of gameplay. We've had many players that, we couldn't probably interact with before playing the game. And, this is sort of almost like forced us to think about stuff in a different way. So Urban Onslaught, I think it's, for me, it's a big achievement for Artistocrats Lucas and his team, because really here they have created something that sort of goes beyond the, hey, I'll add some missions and, flavorish scenarios. This is it's almost like a new game in its own. It just has so many different novelties to gameplay. The new units are super cool. They play super cool. They do some really cool things. So every time coming up with these new ideas for a game that's that has a core that's into a franchise is not easy at all. It's a bit like think about, the difference between a game like Warhammer Battle Sector and this one. On Battle Sector, it's sort of almost like obvious what you want to do to expand the game to other, other places, other factions, and so on. For Starship Troopers, it's much more different in a way that it's more creative, but it also has to be relevant to the players. And so I think Urban Onslaught just is spot on for that. It just makes the experience, it enriches the experience of the original game. It's potentially a game on its own. It's really cool, but it's also, working on the foundations of something that really works very well. So, I think you'll enjoy it. It's almost going to be, I'm sure it's going to be a great release. Only 10 points reward for watching Marco bargain. I'll give you 20 points, Mancus. I mean, you've always been there, so you probably get more than 10 points. But I'll give you 10 points if you send me a proof that you bought at least five of our games. No, I'm joking. So Starship Troopers next week, you'll get it out, and you'll see. Show us some point. Show us all the points you've got. Come on, guys. Put your exclamation mark points and see who's doing good these days. What's your ranking, Yuliug, by the way? Maladroit. You see? See, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Some of you are doing well. Some of you are doing very, very well. 175, 272. That's good, guys. You're doing well. We should probably, can we show the leaderboard? I let others show. I think that's because you're number 1 or number 2, Yuliug, I guess. But so, something like that. Shards. You don't look at this channel enough. You should be watching it more. I've got a 12 there. Who was 12? Guys. Next one, we have just published the latest content for Stargate. It's a long set of interviews that we have done to all the people involved in the development of the game, including me. I wasn't involved in development, but I always manage to get involved in these things. And if you're watching Starship Troopers next week, don't pay attention to my presence. It's a bit weird. Yuliug just subscribed. But I think, are we showing it at the end of this? The yes. Timekeepers, yeah. So we'll show you the set of interviews at the end of tea time. So stay with us for later. Filgory Kingdoms, Pocus has taken his time to write a small summary and a guide to that will release soon to for new players with maybe having some hard time understand what they have to do and so on, or not used to this kind of systems. Asia has a long history of of players dating way back, but we understand that many of you guys might be new to the system, so Pocus has written some really cool stuff that we're going to publish soon, and we'll be letting you know when. There's a little article on the Steam page already, so if you want to start going there, there's already a hint of that. And then Shadow Empire, we have a new update out now, and again, thanks to Vic, who keeps working on this game after all these years. Shadow Empire is another game that's healthy and kicking, and will stay around for a long time. It's a great game, and the latest update focuses on the presence of arachnids. Funnily enough, in a Starship Troopers Week celebration, but there's also a lot of balancing and bug fixes. We've got some sales going on. Now we can buy Warnies 2 and never even touch it. That's something that some people do, Yuliug. People buy one of these to just for show off that they have it. So big. There are sales going on. So there's another, the fanatical sale with the Phil Glory, Sengoku Jidai, Medieval, Empires, and there's Fantasy General 2 is still going on. You can buy 4, 7, or 10 titles on different price tiers. Complete your collection there. This type of build your own bundle has been super successful. So check it out. And also a reminder that the Humble Choice program has Battle Sector this month until July 2nd. Check it out as well. Broken Arrow, stocky Broken Arrow has been, we don't have dates. We don't have dates, that's for sure. We're looking at providing you with more information in the next few weeks of what is happening on Broken Arrow. Basically, the core of it is that the developer Steel Balalaika is working on the single player campaign mainly. The single player campaign is a big focus now, because after doing the multiplayer test, everything seemed, worked well in the end. Stuff that we knew we had to fix, some stuff that came out of it, and we know what to fix now. But, and when I say we, I always say development team. But now we have the single player campaign to work on, and that's taking a little bit of time. The next step is going to be a single player beta, and then after that, probably another wave of multiplayer beta and then release. So I can't really tell you if we are, a long time away from release, but it, time's going fast, and I don't see this, being delayed too much. We don't know when exactly, but we'll keep you posted. I propose a fun thing. Every time someone asks about Broken Arrow, Mark gets a nipple twist. We need to pay a nipple twister to do that, and to be here. So I'm not sure that can be done. What about early access? Stocky, no. Nope. I don't think it's a good idea, to be honest. Early access is commercial headache that has a lot of positives, but also a lot of risks and negatives. We pretty much know what we're doing and how we're doing. We're not looking for interim funding for the project. So there's a number of reasons why we have sort of ruled out through early access for the moment. We never know what happens in the future, but no, the idea is releasing it in full as soon as we can. Or hopefully that's going to be not too far away. But not hopefully. We know it's not too far away. Tournaments. I'm not sure what is your plan for the next few days and weeks, but no Battle Sector news for today. No Sergeant Z-Dog. No. We're working on it, actively working on it, but I can't really tell you more about this. Slitherine does not do early access. Well, you don't know that. Who knows? Might be surprised. Tournaments. So the next tournament, there's a Fog tournament open for subscriptions now. There's two, one for Ancients, one for Medieval. But I think it's starting either tomorrow. I think tomorrow they're starting. So if you want to subscribe to these, you just have to go fast. But from next week or like very, very soon, we'll open more Panzer Corps 2 tournaments with knockout as well. So these knockout tournaments have been filling up very quickly. So we're trying to sort of prepare more of these and make sure that you guys are into them as soon as you can. We're sort of put 32 players limit now, but we might want to increase this. The problem is that the more players, the longer the tournaments go on. So we have to be careful in not making tournaments that last for months. But yeah, anyway, this is the plan for tournaments right now, and you can go on the Slitherine.com/tournaments page and see what you're fancying playing against real people. No combat mission either. What can I say about combat mission? Nothing that I wouldn't be killed for. Yeah, combat mission is an important one. Nothing, Marco. Okay, can't say anything. Okay, here's the tournaments page. Oh, come on, we miss one player for medieval to get to 100. Come on, please help us. Yeah, and Battle Sector as well is happening, and how many? A lot of ongoing tournaments, a lot of them. So yeah, these are doing very well, and I'm happy that you guys are sort of keeping the retention on these as well, because back in the days, when we started tournaments, there was a big dropout number, but now things are going really well. So thank you for supporting this. And 153 players for Battle Sector on the main tournament is a lot. Is a lot. I'm very happy about it. Streaming schedule. Scramble Battle of Britain after this. Sorry, Sergeant. I've been dragging my feet. You'll be doing this very soon. Tomorrow we have, for the Slitherine Day, we have Filgrey Kingdoms with Yogg, then Hexabu playing Scramble, and XTRG playing Terminator, and Headquarters with Das. The weekend, we start having a lot more on the weekends. We used to far less than this. Yogg is playing Kingdoms, and then a Gamer is playing Scramble at 6 p.m. As I said, we try to give Scramble to every one of our resident streamers so that we vary the play style. So Das Tactic is playing Scramble on Sunday. Maybe he's going to play a 4X version of Das of Scramble. Who knows? And then on Monday, for Matrix Monday, we have 4:15 we have Flashpoint Campaigns with Sergeant. 6:15 we have Das playing Rule the Waves 3 and Shadow Empire with Hexabu at 8:15. Tuesday we have a big Starship Troopers event. So at 6 p.m. you'll see what we have in house. Or I think is it at 6 p.m. the event or 5? Somebody in the chat answer this question. Filgrey Kingdoms with Yogg on Wednesday. Anybody else thinking one day the stream will just go black when Marcus says something and he's replaced? I fear that. I fear that something like that will happen one day. It's our 6 p.m. for the event, not for Yogg playing the game.
After there's Yogg playing.
And after there's Yogg playing. See? I'm a puppet. Okay, tell me what I have to say. I'm joking. Am I someone in the chat? Oh, gosh. Anyway, guys, I'll leave you with the Stargate set of interviews, and after this, you'll see Sergeant Z-Dog playing awesome games. Bring Enzo out. Enzo and Adriana don't want to show on screen, so if you've got ways to force them, we should probably try anything. If you help me convincing them doing that. Anyway, yeah, I'll leave you to the Stargate interviews. I'll see you next week on Thursday for, by that time, Starship Troopers will be released, the next DLC. Enzo and Adriana will do tea time in 2028. Can we make a note of that, please? And I will all see you next week. Bye-bye. Stargate is a project we started thinking about back in 2019. We had this idea of creating a game that was truly linked to characters and narrative design, but a true strategy experience. We thought that Stargate was a perfect property to attach this type of experience, where there's a lot of focus on characters and story, but also on specific military actions that are carried forward in the game. Working on this project for us is something that's almost entirely new, because it's the first time we make a game that's self-contained, a narrative experience that you play from start to finish. It has no skirmish element or anything else like that.
Thanks to extensive Stargate universe, we are able to visit multiple different biomes throughout the game. Story will take us to many places. For example, we will visit jungle temples, underground Jaffa bases, or even capital Goa'uld ships. One of the most important things designing this type of the game is to make the puzzles really interesting. The key factor of this puzzle is, first, timings, skills you can use to eliminate the enemies, and third, your imagination. Different environments usually have a different set of possibilities in them. In more industrial place, we can use a lot of machines in order to, I don't know, execute enemy, maybe clear the path for ourselves.
Our idea is to create a new whole story without losing the genuineness of the original TV series. We would like to give Stargate's passionate community a new storyline which can give them the same vibes of the original show. In order to be consistent, to keep the authenticity of the original series, every aspect of the game is approved and verified by MGM. Stargate Timekeepers is not only a Slitherine product, but is a four-handed project between us and MGM. One of the most important parts for us is not only to give Stargate's community a great game, but is to bring also the Stargate's words to all the passionate of strategy video games.
There were two reasons we wanted to make a Stargate game. The first is the IP itself. Stargate is a very well-loved franchise that we all remember fondly from its time on TV, and there hasn't been very much done with the IP in a number of years. Secondly, we wanted to make a game that allowed us to tell a story. The Battle of Antarctica is one of the most iconic episodes in the Stargate TV series. It's a very well-remembered moment in the series. We felt it was an ideal starting point for our story because it provides continuity. We have new and original characters in our game. It's impossible to play the game and only control one character. You'll be able to solve very few problems merely controlling one character. You will need to take 2 or 3 characters on any given level through your adventure. Timing and interplay between them is absolutely critical.
First up is Eva, who is the head of the team. Eva's skills are based on her experience. For example, she is able to distract enemies with bullet casings and also able to spot out weaknesses with her binoculars that assist her other team members in taking out people they might not have been able to without her. I think the character's personality and skills came as part of the game. We knew from the beginning that this was going to be some kind of stealth game, so we were never going to have someone coming out and just like across the screen and killing everyone. It's easy to say that everyone in this group is a rogue of some kind, because they are stealthy and sneak attacks, but that doesn't always mean that they're killing people. Sam, for example, is our spy and he can steal appearances. A lot of our skills are designed to the environment. They interact specifically on different maps. All of our characters, when we came up with them, kind of inspired their own skills and their own characters, and back and forth, vice versa. Each of our 14 narrative-focused missions brings something new to the table in terms of characters and skills and elements to the story, and I'm excited to see you explore them. When you start out the story, we don't have every character on the cast because not all of them are with Stargate, as we mentioned. You get to learn and know more about them as we go.